have a secondary video, so if this doesn't, there's eyelashes in, okay. All right. This is gonna be an interesting one. Let's say that. Relax, let's get into the groove. Get into the groove. Boy, you've got to prove your love to me. Yeah. Oh, I want to go to Madonna's new concert, you know? Okay. I'm gonna have to reevaluate what I'm doing for this makeup look because I had an idea in mind and I had a particular palette that I wanted to use and I cannot find that palette. So we're gonna try and maybe make some adjustments. I do have a palette that is similar, so like I'm not entirely without what I need. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and basically what they were saying was like it was really really innocuous, right? It was kind of a like, actually it was a sweet thing. It was not like anything rude, but basically what they had said was like I seem like a very nice person and very positive person just based on like how I present myself on the internet, and that made them like want to talk to me and get to know me better. And I literally had a moment where when they said that, for whatever reason, I kind of like was like, oh, okay. So, you know, because I present myself a certain way, which I mean, I think we all do. We all kind of present our best self on the internet. We all present our, you know, most, you know, interesting self, most, you know, put together self, or at least you know, we try to, our most positive self. I think this is kind of like the crux of what this video is going to be about, because it got me thinking about like part of the reason that I greatly miss my fanfic days, and I greatly miss like the world of fanfic and the world of like all those tropes, especially, you know, my very beloved enemies to lovers trope. I think that was one of my favorites. And I realized that I think part of the reason it's my favorite is because I like the idea of someone who, and I'm not the first person to say this, but I like the idea of someone who has seen all of my worst sides, all of my bitchiest, crankiest, you know, uh, short-sightedest, hangriest, whatever. You know, they've seen all of the worst parts of me and they're like, you know what? I still love you. I still enjoy you. I still want to get to know you. There is something comforting about that. There is something reassuring about that idea.
And here's where everything just sort of went off the rails with this video. I had a lot more footage than this of me doing my eye makeup, but a lot of different things just kind of sent me into like a mental spiral, and so I just kind of stopped talking, and I was actually like considering stopping the entire video. I did film my actually doing my eyes, and there was a little bit of like me talking, but I decided to cut it out ultimately and just cut back in where I started fresh. But yeah, just wanted to explain that this is kind of like a weird little section because I was just like going through it.
This is going to be very interesting because I stopped in the middle. I was feeling all kinds of feelings. I took a break, took a moment. We are back. So yeah, you know, it's funny because I miss the whole like, you know, trope element of like writing fanfic. But I mean, I can put it in fiction. And I will say, I mean, I write quite a bit when I'm like writing books. I'm writing quite a bit of like relationships and romance and stuff like that. And I've been writing this one book that I haven't really talked about because obviously I haven't been, you know, making videos for a while, but I love it. It's a great book, but it is like sad in a lot of ways. And wow, I just whistled. So, you know, this book that I've been writing is like kind of sad. Work has been exhausting to say the least. So, you know, and that is like, honestly, that's its own thing of like how exhausting work is, and like customers will try your patience. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna talk about where I work. I don't want to be messy. I don't like the job, but I also don't want to be fired because I said something stupid, at least until I get like, you know, enough subscribers on YouTube that I don't need the job anymore. That's what I'm going for. So subscribe to this channel so I don't have to work a day job anymore. I think that's a fair trade. Because, you know, look, I love making these videos. I love making content. I've been really having a lot of fun with this. You know, the last 20 minutes notwithstanding. So, like, I've been having so much fun. I want to keep doing this. I have no intention of stopping doing this. Also, I know there's probably going to be a lot of people who do not like that I am dragging this down my neck. That is the only way I have found that I can put this on in a timely manner, because if I have to like pat all the way down my throat, first of all, it's going to hurt. Second of all, it's going to take forever and I don't have time for it. So I barely want to do this on my forehead. So yeah, I've been writing this story that is like more, I almost said visceral, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. It's just more emotional. And like, it's a good story, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but you know, there are times when it's very mentally taxing, and so you're just like sitting there like, can I just have a story that isn't mentally taxing and that makes me happy and, you know, is cheerful? And that is one thing though that I will say is like I have been like feeling the yearning so much lately. I've been doing really good about um not letting that happen so much. I don't even know if that's the right phrasing. I've been really good about like not focusing on the whole like being single thing. Like I'd been doing really, really well focusing on literally anything else. And I don't really know what's happened, but like the last week or so, I've just been really like feeling that like lonely yearning type of thing, you know, the lesbian life. um, and it's been kind of frustrating, to be honest, because I'm just like, why, like not that it's a bad thing, I don't think, but it's just frustrating. And like I want to read more, like, you know, I want to read more books and I want to read more like butch femme specific stories. But the last book that I read that had that, it was great, but it also depressed me a little bit because I'm like, damn, I'm single, and reading about somebody, you know, in this happy, great relationship kind of depresses me because I'm that bitch. I want to be happy for people, but I'm a little petty. No, it's not, I don't think it's petty. It's just like, you know, you want to be happy for someone, but at the same time, it's kind of like, damn, why is that not me? I want to get into that headspace where I can read these stories and not be like depressed by them. That would be great. Because like I want to read more lesbian specific stories and butch femme stories. Like God knows I'm not going to read straight stories. That's going to just fucking depress me. Not depress me, but like annoy me. Let's be honest. Like I don't want to read that. I don't need to read that. I've read that for years. Like let me have something more interesting. And I follow this author on Instagram. You know, they do butch femme romance stories, and I'm like, actually I have to say, they're always like talking about a new story that's like, oh, I just finished this. This is, you know, gonna be published soon. And I'm over here like, damn, I thought I wrote fast. You write so fast. I have been on such a like slump of writing lately. Not because I don't have ideas. I've got tons of ideas. I just like, you know, ugh. Just like hair in my mouth. Okay. Let's try and get that out. Thanks. Not because I'm like not having ideas. I've just been like, I don't know. I don't always feel like I have the most like, I want to say creative. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. You know, sometimes you just go through like phases where you just write more, write less. Every time I see them talking about like this new story, I'm like, geez, I need to catch up because I am being very, very slow about writing and it's upsetting. But, you know, I mean, that's the other thing too, is you know, a lot of writers are not also trying to run a YouTube channel and everything else that I do and doing the love letters that I've been doing and all that other stuff. So it's like, it's not like I'm not doing anything. I wanted to do something different with today's makeup. I wonder how it'll turn out. I actually think I like it a little bit so far, or not a little bit, I like it a lot so far. Typically, I do a different powder shade under my eyes because I like how brightening the Puff Puff Pass by Kimchi is, but I decided I wanted to go with the same powder that I'm doing on the rest of my face. I don't want such a harsh line between what's like between the powder bright, like the under eye, and then blush that I'm gonna do. Oh my god, I could not think of any of those words. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm thinking about doing a different color under my eyes as opposed to like above my eyes. You know, some days your makeup is not quite what you planned, but you go with it. You stick with it. What are you gonna do? You know, not everything's perfect. That is one thing that I'm like, that is one thing that I will say that I feel like doing these love letters has taught me, and like in general, just different things that I've been doing have kind of taught me and reminded me, like, you know, sometimes not everything works out perfectly, and that's okay. Like, it's okay not to be perfect. You know, that's okay actually. Oh my god, there's so much noise going on outside. I can't tell if some kid is screaming or if there is just wind that sounds like a screaming child. I don't know which is worse. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love this. I love blush now. It's so funny. I went through such a strong time of like not being a fan of blush, and then I became like blush obsessed, which is where I'm at now. To the point where I actually, like, I use the Trixie blush, but I've also been using pink color from the ColourPop Powerpuff Girls palette as a blush, and it does really, really well. I will say that. So, is it a lot? Yes. Do I like how it looks? Also, yes. I cannot talk. Which is always the best time to film a video, when you can't form a sentence. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, I wanna, I just, ultimately, I guess what I'm getting at is I think ultimately what I'm getting at is just like, I want to read more stuff. I want to write more stuff, obviously. Sometimes it's just hard finding the energy to like write and, you know, do all the stuff you want to do. I feel like there's like so much stuff I'm trying to do at any given time. Sometimes finding the energy is just like not the easiest. And I'm like fighting, you know, being tired and, you know, overworked and all that jazz. Trying to get into a rhythm, especially with like filming and adding this back into my routine, because I haven't done this really in so long. And again, I love filming. I think it's so much fun, and I'm so glad that I'm doing it again. But there really was a time where, getting blush in my lungs, there really was a time where I just, you know, was not doing this regularly. And there was a time where I, you know, did it regularly. I think in the beginning, I was a lot more, I was filming a lot more regularly. God, I remember in the very, very beginning, I filmed probably, I had one point where I was doing like publishing 3 videos a week. I don't know. I don't know if that was my best idea. To be honest with you, I don't know if filming 3 videos a week was my best idea. And I don't think it grew my channel any more than like doing 1 or 2. I would not, I don't think that it helped my channel any, you know, which is so funny because I know, I will say this too, and like this is, you know, make of this what you will. People always say, like, oh, YouTube punishes you if you don't make content and they hide your channel. I don't know if I'm just special or like what, but I feel like every time I stop making content for a long time, that's when I get more new subscribers. I don't know what I should take from that, but I do find that to be the case. Like, every time I stop making videos for a little bit, that's when everyone decides to subscribe. So I don't know if I should take that personally or what. Honestly, this is going to be hilarious to edit because this video is already so far off the rails. I'm just obsessed with this highlighter. I honestly feel like this is one of those highlighters that if someone said to me, like, you know, you can only use one highlighter for the rest of your life, this would be the one. And I mean that because it's just so ridiculous. I don't even use this other shade. There's like a whole other shade in here that I never use. I must feel bad for it. Okay. So is this, am I already done? I cannot believe this. This went by so fast. But then again, I like kind of skipped around because I haven't done lips and lashes yet. I don't know if I'm going to do lashes. I know Trixie said this doesn't really do anything, but I like feeling like I'm a little less dry, a little dewy. I don't know what lip I want to do for this because this is like a very like blue eye and then like pink face. So I don't know what's a good lip for this. Maybe should I do a black lip? I have that. This is like a neon blue. Oh, so pretty. It's like this neon blue, like acid blue kind of vibe. Final thoughts. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about last. I got perfume in my mouth just now, so I've got that going for me. You know, I mean, here's the thing. The bottom line, I think at this point for me is like, I think the bottom line at this point for me is just like, I have been feeling a little, you know, I've been feeling yearning. I've been feeling feelings, emotions. I have no clue where this video is going. If you enjoy, if I end up posting this video, like it because it exists, comment how you feel about like the whole trope of enemies to lovers. If you're creative, tell me about some project you're working on. Subscribe. At least I look cute in this makeup. That's the one thing I can say.